Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to begin. Let's go ahead and get started. I see you, Cohagen. I see you, everybody else. Even the people watching after the stream is over. I see you. Hi, hello, welcome. Let's begin, shall we? Yo, peoples! Qushu92 here. Welcome back to another iteration of Solo Leveling Ragnarok. This is also a momentous occasion because today is also the season finale of Solo Leveling's second season, which I'll be tuning into after I'm done with this entire reaction. But it's good to see everyone. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're staying hydrated. Starting to get a little bit warm out there, at least for us here on the east side. So if you live on the east side like I do, or in this particular time zone, please stay hydrated, stay safe. Let's get started with today's chapter. So in the last one, we had basically the Hunters Association getting ready to, raid Paju, which is the factory location for Stardust led by Lee Min-sung, and they're about to raid this place with the help of some other hunters. Not only that, but the third piece of TL that has basically taken root in the child apostle inside of child TL has not only grown, but has also shown himself to be considered an S-rank hunter by the Hunters Association. Lee Min-sung notices, and then is giddy by the fact that this hunter is actually the person he's been working with, because Lim Tae-gyu is also home, and he is joining in with the raid on this entire facility as well. Not only that, but we get an excavation crew, and with that excavation crew, Suho has also wormed his way in there as well. So now we have Suho, who's gunning for Lee Min-sung at this same location. We have Lee Min-sung, who's trying to get Lim Tae-gyu killed here, and also trying to keep the Hunters Association from finding out. We have the Apostle, who's working with Lee Min-sung to spread the flames of faith through Mistburns, also here, so that's going to be in opposition to all the hunters. And everyone is here. Everyone is here. I need some water after I get done. But let's begin with episode 35. A few days earlier. And we have Lee Min-sung, because apparently everyone preparing to raid this Paju field-type dungeon. This was days later after this segment here. But we have Lee Min-sung smiling smugly in his chair as he's speaking. I can't believe how much you've grown since I last saw you. Do all aliens mature so quickly? And then TL speaks. My previous pieces only chose to take a childlike form to increase their chances of survival. But now that I merge with my third piece, I'm powerful enough to assume whatever form I please. Why are you calling yourself Park Dojin? And why would you want to register as a hunter? What are you scheming? Park Dojin is an identity that will allow me to act out in the open, and becoming a hunter will make it easier for me to carry out my plans. This is starting to really annoy me. Sorry if it's annoying you. I'm trying to get rid of it. Because it's still like a little piece left over because of me being sick last year, and then I guess it did something to my throat where it just sporadic coughs. But sorry, my apologies. And becoming a hunter will make it easier for me to carry out my plans. You know, because of that huge mess you made at the airport, the Hunters Association has begun targeting me in the name of public safety. If the association finds out about the factory at Paju Field, it'll mean the end for both of us. Don't worry, Lee Min-sung. I'll be sure to stop them. That's one of the reasons why I joined the Reaper Guild. I'll turn all the hunters on that raid team into followers. None of them will report anything to the Hunters Association. Oh, he's gonna try and turn everyone. So would he He's gonna try and turn everyone, including, what is it, her name, Bake Miho, as well. Everyone. None of them will report anything to the Hunters Association. So, you'll be bringing out the big guns right from the get-go. What about Lim Tae-gyu? You think you're ready to take on an S-rank now? Oh, right. I promised to kill Lim Tae-gyu for you. Now that I've met him in person, there's one thing I can say for sure. If I were to fight an S-rank now... And then we just get a look from Lee Min-sung as he just starts sneering like... A deal's a deal. It's not my problem if you... Oh, wait. Is this Lee Min-sung going, a deal's a deal. It's not my problem if you two end up killing each other. Solo Leveling Ragnarok, Chapter 35. And then we cut to, apparently, the Hunters Association building, where Wu is speaking. The Paju Field Raid should be starting soon. Lee Min-sung and Stardust. We have to use this raid to get conclusive evidence on him. Considering who we've assigned to this mission, there should be no need to worry. The A-rank hunter Baek Mi-ho of the White Tiger Guild is part of the raid team. And just in case anything happens, we also have Choi Jong-in. And another S-rank hunter on standby. Who is this? Who is this S-rank hunter who has, like, really big hair? Who is this? Who is this? Asking rhetorically, do not answer. And another S-rank hunter on standby. The only factor we haven't considered is Park Dojin, that S-rank hunter who appeared out of nowhere. He joined the Reaper Guild as soon as it was decided that we clear Paju Field, and I can't help but think that this gives Lee Min-sung an advantage somehow. See? Wu is smart! He knows something off! And there's one more thing that's been on my mind. Suho will be joining the raid as part of the excavation team. As part of the excavation squad. I can't tell if this is coincidence or destiny. I approved his request to join the excavation squad, but I'm still wondering if I made the right choice. If this is part of Suho's plan, all I can do is try to help. Then we cut to a creature, suddenly cut to a creature, like a red-skinned reptilian creature preparing to shoot a fireball. And it's these giant creatures trying to take out these, I guess these are hunters using their shields. We got some tanks just tanking the fire blast from two of these giant reptilian creatures. Strike squad! I can't hold out much longer! And then we get someone who taps him on the back, and it's Miho. It's Miho, as she just walks past them, shocking one of the tanks. And then it cuts to the creature roaring, and then Miho just walks up and just punches this thing in the face. She just punches this thing in the face. Oh, Miho is all hands. Rated E for everybody. She hands Miho. And she sends this thing flying. Well, no. She doesn't send it flying. Sorry, my bad. She just starts beating it up. She goes full Mike Tyson on this thing. Just punches it over and over and over. She's all hands. Just beating this thing up with her bare hands. And then she glances over and dodges out of the way of the other creature, fire-breathing creature, and she ducks under it and she starts moving real quick. She flips over it, jumps off of its back, lands on the roof, and then launches towards the creature, and all we see is from the creature's perspective. Like in its eye, the reflection of Miho as her fist is bearing down on it, and she embeds her fist in this thing's skull, hitting it so hard blood shoots out of its eyes, blood shoots out of its mouth, and blood shoots out of its chin because the force of the blow went through its head and out the bottom of its mouth. My goodness! And then she wow, she hits it, and the force of it causes its body to literally, like, it was standing upright. These creatures are standing upright, and she hits this thing so hard that it's still standing up, but its upper body just bends to the force, to the momentum, to the inertia, and it embeds itself in the ground while its legs are still standing. She just bent this thing's back in half and just slammed it into the ground. This is such a wonderful way to showcase power for a new character. I love it. This is how you introduce somebody. And there's just this loud crash as we see these two creatures, which are leagues bigger than Miho, by the way. They're laying there dead, with one of them having an indent in its skull while also having its face in the middle of a small crater, just from her beating these things up. And she glances over and she pays attention to Lee Min-sung. Mind you, she's weaving her eyesight through everyone else and notices that Lee Min-sung is just chilling in the back.
Is Lee Min-sung really not going to help out?
Because Lee Min-sung's just hanging in the back, smoking.
He doesn't deserve to be an A rank. He obviously has zero respect for hunters.
And while she's thinking this, another creature pops up right next to her.
Oops, I got distracted.
And then Park Dojin comes in, and then he's just right there in front of her and just chops the creature. Literally, not even punch it, not even slapping it, just chops it with just enough force to embed its head into the ground. Just casually. And then it just shows Park just standing there, hands smoking from, the force of the blow.
Please be careful, Miss Miho.
And she's just standing there, slightly bewildered.
He swatted that salamander like it was a fly. This Park Dojin. I know he's an S rank, but he showed up to a raid dressed in casual clothes like a rookie, so I honestly wasn't expecting much from him.
But then it shows Park pulling up his collar to his hoodie, well, to his jacket he's got on. And then we just get a swing, swing, swing as his eyes are glowing, and we see the heads of all of these creatures being cut off. And he's cutting off the heads of these creatures with his bare hand.
But I guess S ranks are really cut from a different cloth.
He just beheaded all of these creatures in an instant with just his bare hands. And we just see blood, creature blood, splattered on the ground.
I think that's all of them. We finished way sooner than we expected. But is this really all of them? It feels like there should be more monsters here.
Ah, I knew you'd notice, Miss Miho. The Reaper Guild has been taking care to keep the monster population of all of our field-type dungeons at a manageable level. That's how we make sure they don't pose a threat to civilians.
And mind you, he's giving that sigh smile. Those of you who grew up with Naruto and made it all the way to Shippuden recognize what a sigh smile is. It's a smile, but your eyes are closed. Because when you have your eyes open, people can look at your eyes and tell if you're sincere or not. But if they're closed and you're smiling, they can't really tell half the time. But he's giving that acting, he's giving an actor's smile.
The Reaper Guild has been taking care to keep the monster population of all of our field-type dungeons at a manageable level. That's how we make sure they don't pose a threat to civilians.
And Miho is thinking,
does that mean they do regular raids to keep the monster population under control? I've never heard of a guild putting in so much effort to maintain their fields. Because there's really no need to visit a field-type dungeon on a daily basis. There has to be something here. I just know it.
And Lee Min-sung is just smoking and just giving that snide sneer off to the side because he's just thinking Park Dojin is just gonna no diff every single person here and turn them into a follower.
All right then, follow me to the boss chamber. You can sniff around for as long as you want. You'll never find anything to hold over me.
And he's saying this while his eyes are kind of glowing to give him that evil glare.
The demons should have already shut down the factory and hidden themselves somewhere in the dungeon. None of you will be leaving this place with anything to report on the factories.
And while Miho is walking and she's thinking to herself, Park Dojin is behind her and he lets out a slight smirk.
None of you will be leaving this place with anything to report on the factories.
Park Dojin smiles.
Or even your sanity.
And then it cuts to this creature with tentacles coming out of its mouth. And it's the same creature that was speaking to Lehman Sung that got his tentacles cut off because, he was being disrespectful. But he's standing here with two other demons.
What a shame. Such a shame. The great apostle has graced us with his presence, but we are unable to greet him.
And while this demon is speaking, we cut to numerous humans, numerous people, and they're all just dudes. They're all regular dudes, but they're shirtless, but they're covered in scars and burns, and they look like they've been tortured beyond mental healing. They're just standing there in front of this particular demon.
Think of all the stardust we could be making during this time. It's sad to see the fuel standing around, unable to fulfill their duties.
And then it shows someone just standing in front of this door. Oh, and it's Suho! And it's Suho standing in front of the door that I think it leads straight to the demons. And Suho goes,
Hey, Beru, is this where you said you felt the presence of demons?
That's right, young master.
And then Suho opens the door. And he's right! I'm sorry. I almost fell out of my chair. That knocked my cord around. It knocked my cord around, but Suho is right there in front of all the demons! I almost fell out of my chair. You guys, I'm so glad it actually cut that out. I almost fell out of my chair because Suho just opens up the door that leads straight to the demons.
Who?
And then all of a sudden, the demon's face just completely gets obliterated by something. Like there's a hole in this demon's face now. And Suho's about to upgrade his gauntlets because they need demon souls. But Suho opens up by just punching this demon in the face and obliterates all of them. Well, he obliterates the one that was speaking and sends its body flying into the background past the other two demons that's with him. And then Suho is standing there with this mask over his face and the Vulcan gauntlets.
Young master, you managed to sever a demon's head with just one strike. I see that all those daily quests with that darn gator weren't all for nothing.
And then Suho's looking at all the people, all the enslaved people that are completely out of it. And he thinks to himself,
These people aren't conscious, so there was a Stardust factory here, just as we suspected.
A masked hunter.
And the head of this demon is still speaking. It's still speaking.
The great apostle told us about you and how you've been meddling with our work.
And then the tentacles of this demon's head starts wriggling and writhing.
Excellent. You'll make a fine offering to the great apostle.
And the demon has reconstituted its body using its tentacles from its head. and it created like a whole new body. Who remembers Dirge from the cartoon Star Wars The Clone Wars TV show? If you know what I'm talking about, then this demon has basically reconstituted its entire body just like Dirge did during that episode. And now it's this walking tentacle golem. To be continued. And that's, to be continued. And that's the end of the chapter. Okay, let's get started. Whew. So today is the last episode of Solo Leveling for the season. Yes. Also, Dragon Emperor. Hey, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, you suggested it's too costly. What's the reason? It's just based off of the pricing. It's just based off of the pricing that they have for the game. I mean, what would you have me say? What's the reason? It's just the pricing they have for the game. Also, Mihai, hello, good to see you. Like, were you expecting the game to be on sale? It's a full-fledged good game, and so, you gotta understand that marketing will keep games at like full price for a significant amount of time. I mean, look at Nintendo games. It's literally just the price that they have for the game. It's not even, now for us Americans, we're used to a lot of games being like $70, but that one's just $60. But I can understand how you see it as costly, but at the same time, that's just the price that they got set for it. So I don't know what else to tell you. That's the price that I got it at. And yeah, I don't know what else you expect me to say. That's just the price that they have it. However, remember the conversation that we had last time where I said that don't let what I consider to be good games to be the first thing that you jump on. Just base it off of your own interests. So, hey, you can always wait for a sale, but I already gave you my opinion on Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The raid has started, and Lehman Sung is teamed up. We find out that the goal for the apostle is to turn every single hunter there into a follower. That's the goal. Also, I need to turn this brightness down. Sorry. It was way too bright. Sorry about that, everybody. But what we have here now is the raid has started on the Paju field. Suho is already there. He's already left the excavation crew, and he's using Beru to find his way towards the other demons. And he's already fighting the ones who are pretty much in charge of overseeing the Stardust. So when Suho destroys these demons, well, those demons, Lehman Sung still, see, this is the thing. Lehman Sung is so happy that Park Dojin is going to be helping him eradicate all of the hunters. But Park is going to be turning them, or at least attempting to. But the thing is, Lehman Sung thinks, hey, once you turn them, no one will be able to tell or report anything you've seen here, and you won't be leaving here to report anything or with your sanity. But Suho is here, already getting rid of the demons, cause Park and Lee was all like, all the demons have hidden themselves and they shut down the factory, so you won't be able to find anything. But Suho has already found them because he has the most OP tracker with him. Beru senses the demons and he's all like, yep, this is where all the demons are, young master. And Suho goes straight there. And now he's already fighting the demons. So once Suho kills them all, Lehman Sung and Park are not going to have their biggest factory for mist burns. That will be more than enough evidence to pin on Lehman Sung. So while Lehman Sung is gung-ho about thinking that he's going to be able to have Lim Tae-gyu killed and all of the hunters eradicated, and Park Dojin thinks that he's going to be able to turn every single one of them, Suho is here. That is the wild card in all of this. That's the biggest takeaway from this entire chapter. Suho is here, and that is the biggest wild card to the biggest upset to everything that's about to go down right now. Oh, I can't wait for next week's episode! Oh, this already is getting good. And since Suho is using Vulcan's gauntlets, that means that when he kills these demons, the gauntlets will get stronger. And Suho's ability to do damage to demons has significantly increased. He had a hard time, a difficult time going up against these demons earlier on, even when he was using the bond skill of Gray. Now he's so powerful that he can literally punch a head through one of the demons, even though this particular demon regenerated into a giant golem mass of tentacles. He's still strong enough to send one flying with one hit. So all of this training that he's been doing with Amut has really been paying off. And mind you, when he was done training, it was literally just a few days back from the conversation we had with Lee Min-sung when he was talking to Park Do-jin. Just a couple of days and he's already strong enough to send demons flying with just one hit alone. So yeah, Suho is about to level up. He's about to get stronger. Yeah, this was a good chapter. I enjoyed this. And I like the implications of what this particular raid on the Paju Field dungeon is going to mean going forward. Because honestly, Lee Min-sung is not walking away from this unscathed. He's not. The Mistburn factory is going to see its end probably by Suho's hand, who will then try and help out because here's how I can see this playing off in my head. Suho is going to deal with the demons here in the dungeon before Lee Min-sung and company get there. Then when Lee Min-sung and company get there, they're going to find that the demons are already dead, and he's going to be wondering, how is this possible? Who else is here? None of them should be dead. There shouldn't be any evidence left over. I am flabbergasted. Then it's going to turn to Park Do-jin trying to make his move and turn all the hunters, and then he's going to go up against Suho, which is probably going to prove to be an interesting fight that happens. Overall, that's just my hypothesis. You don't worry about confirming or denying. Don't even worry about it. We'll wait until next week to see where the story goes from here. But Suho is already making the first move against Lee Min-sung by hitting the factory. And by moving against Lee Min-sung and hitting the factory, he's also making a move against Park Do-jin as well. So this ought to be an interesting chapter next week. Overall, I enjoyed this immensely. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a very good chapter of solo leveling. I almost fell out of my chair. Sorry for the screen skipping. I hit it so hard that it knocked out the ether cable into my laptop, and I had to catch myself before I fell over completely. But this was such a good chapter. Wow, I don't think I've ever had a moment where I almost fell out of my chair for it. I don't think I ever had a moment reading solo leveling like I gotten out of my chair, but never fell in my chair. Never. But this is, I love the pacing. I love the pacing of this. This is so good. I like the pacing of this. It was very good. But Mihai, Dragon Emperor, Kohagen, anyone else who's watching right now, especially if you're new, all I can say to you is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe because you're coming back anyway. I know you are. Because I know you enjoyed yourself and because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples!